Hello. You know, I wasn't gonna make a video talking about this because there's a lot of fake tubers out there that'll make this kind of a video, and like many of them much more competent than myself, right? But eh, you know, despite what I may or may not know, I do enjoy talking about this game. So I figured, what the hell? I got nothing else to do. Why not? Also, if you hear any snap, crackle, and popping going on in the background, that's just my fireplace. Alright. I'm chilly and I'm sitting next to the fire, so if you hear anything like that, it's just wood popping. Okay, so, let's take a look at what we've got here. I guess I will start with Sothis because I'm very sad about this refine. Why does Sothis keep getting screwed over, dude? Why do they hate Sothis? I don't... just... okay? Anyways. The only... I will say that, the change in her base weapon makes her, like, actually usable. It makes her... it puts her on, like, the same level as Adun, in my opinion, so she's basically like a... she's kind of like a green Adun that instead of having... negates armor damage, she negates dragon damage, so it's... maybe it's a bad comparison, but I think in my mind she's kind of on the same level as Adun now. Not, like, maybe not as good. Well, maybe, she has the speed, so... anyways. But, despite that, her weapon refine is still not that good. So she has... so what the change to her base weapon is she now neutralizes penalties to herself, which is really good. Like, that change on its own is actually quite good. And then the refine itself, if foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is above 3/4, she gets 4 more stats. Neutralizes effects that guarantees foe's follow-up, so she has a defensive NFU. And then reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30%. So, defensive NFU and neutralizing her penalties is actually quite good, but... man, she needed more stats. She really just needed more stats. So, it being what it is, it's usable. I will say that it's usable. Like, give her Wily Fighter off of an Ascended Adun, and you can make her into a pretty good, like, near save unit. Or far save, for that matter, I suppose. But, like, I think she'll actually make a decent save unit with Wily Fighter. Or Special Fighter... Special Fighter 4, actually. That one of those two, because Wily Fighter would like neutralize bonuses on the foe, so, and then also she gets the guaranteed follow up. But like she has the speed, it would basically just mimic like full NFU if you give her a guaranteed follow up from Wily Fighter, I guess. But yeah. I think, personally, I'm going to give her Wily Fighter at some point. As much as Special Fighter 4 is probably better, I just can't bring myself to sack a Winter Knight. Like, if I get any more, like, I'd want to just merge them up. But eventually, if Special Fighter 4 does become available on someone else, I will actually probably get it for her. Because Special Fighter 4 probably is the best one for her. And yeah, that's it. But I'm mostly just kind of sad. Like, despite... there are good things about this refine, but it's still kind of disappointing. I really wanted more. Yeah, so, I guess we'll talk about Claude next. Just because... god damn it, look at that, man. So, Claude got an actual, like, really stacked refine. Like, I'm kind of surprised with how much they gave him. So, he got the I think I forget what his base effect was, but I believe they made the -5 all stats on the foe more lenient. Like, they just need to have... yeah, they did make it a lot more lenient, actually. So they just need to have a penalty, or you need to have a bonus, and they get -5 all stats. So that's actually really good. And then he got a DR effect akin to what Yune has, but it's not as good as Yune's. So basically, Yune doesn't have a cap, right? It is the same kind of DR, like how it activates, but Yune has no cap. Like, Yune can go to 100%, Claude caps at 60%. But that's still good. And then also he gets offensive NFU if the penalties and bonuses equal to 10 or more, which is quite good. So yeah, 60% DR at max, -5 all stats, and then offensive NFU on his base weapon. That's a good upgrade on its own. And then looking at his refine, he has like a mega menace, like basically the same range as like Embla, I guess, would be the most recent like new unit that has that same like 3 columns, 3 rows or whatever that you can think of. So -7 defense on the enemy, and then he gets +6 attack. And then the second clause of his weapon, the easiest way that I could sum it up as is, so the 5 attack and speed is easy to understand, but then the rest of it is basically it becomes attack bonus doubler for himself and defense penalty doubler for his enemy. So basically he will get like 12 attack and the enemy will have like -14 on their defense. That's basically what it boils down to. So yeah, Claude got a really fucking good refine, like really, really good. I think Sealed Defense 4 actually is gonna be a really good skill for him. And yeah, Claude got a pretty decent refine. Quite good. Now, next, I will talk... Actually, I'll mention Death Knight. I don't have Death Knight as a 5-star, so I can't look at his weapon. I only have him as a 4-star in my reserve barracks. And I'm disappointed with Death Knight, man. Like, I was actually planning to +10 Death Knight and make him a good build if his weapon refine was good, but it's so sad. I think Death Knight now has the reward. Like, he stole Sothis' crown for worst refine. It's basically, it boils down to enemy can't make a follow-up and he gets a follow-up. That's basically what his refine is. Like, it's really fucking bad. It's not even worth looking at. So, sad day for Death Knight fans. Let's take a look. Actually, I'll do oops. Oops. Weapon refine. Okay, let's look at Cirrus next, actually. Because Cirrus got a really good refine, too. So basically, Cirrus's base weapon got changed to having full NFU and a much more lenient for all stats. So his base weapon effect got changed to a really good, like he has a really good base weapon now. It just has NFU straight up and down. And then his refine is just Clash with 30% DR. It's very simple, cut and dry. He just has a good weapon now. Like, very good. He has a NFU, Clash, and DR. So that's pretty cut and dry, but it's also really good. Not a lot to say about Cirrus, just good. We'll talk about Leaf next. So Leaf's remix was underwhelming, but he... In all fairness, Leaf got what he needed and nothing more. So, like, it's not bad, it's not great, but it's, like, middle ground, it's decent. You know, and I think it's fine for what it is. So, his Njorn Zeal basically got the Radiant Ether 2 treatment. It just got -1 cooldown at start of turn 1, and like, that's it. And then, his Weapon Refine got basically 4 all stats, 10% true damage based on 10% of the foe's attack, and I believe tempo for himself. So we got half of tempo. So yeah, it's decent. Let me just read this quickly. So 4 all stats, 10% damage, and neutralize effects. Yeah, so he got tempo for himself, 10% damage based on the foe's attack, 4 all stats. So it's pretty modest for what it is, but it's also just really good. It's for what it is. It's all he really needed, like, right? He can guarantee himself Njorn Zeal without needing, like, Quicken Pulse, right? Or without having to, like, take a hit. It's there's really not much to say. For his remix and his refine together is very fair. I will argue, like, it's he got what he needed. It would have been cool if he got more, but he got what he needed, and that's basically it. So Leaf's refine is middle ground. It's decent. It's usable. And then Altina. I might have an unpopular opinion in saying that the Regnal Ullendite refine is actually good. Well, maybe not so much for Winter Altina, but the refine coupled with her remix is actually pretty decent. It's not that bad. So her remix gives her Dragon Wall, 9 to attack Devrez, and then up to 7 true damage based on the difference in res stats. So it's like, the only problem is her stats aren't that high, but like if you can pump up her res, then she's a pretty great combat unit now. And then she gets more res out of her weapon refine. She gets 5 attack res, special cooldown charge, right? So basically like the World Breaker effect for herself. And then she also neutralizes bonuses to the enemy's attack and defense. That's big. That's actually really big. So she becomes a good like Vantage nuker now. And like the reason why I think this is not bad is because she can guarantee herself like Twin Blades. I mean, I guess she doesn't have the tempo effect, so she could still get guarded against, but like if she's not guarded, she'll guarantee Twin Blades. And like, but like if you just give her like Asker support, for example, like maybe you have like duo Asker to give her like that -1 cooldown, then I mean she's gonna guarantee that Twin Blades anyway, even if she is guarded against. So I guess the only way she won't get Twin Blades off is if she's fighting someone with tempo, and that would be unfortunate. But you know, look, you can't prepare a single unit for every single situation that they could come across, right? So like, in the grand scheme of things, I think that Altina's remix refine brings her back, maybe not back into the meta, but it makes her useful in Astra season at least as a bonus unit. Like she doesn't have to be a burden to your team anymore. So I think it's like not that bad. That's pretty much it. I guess that's all there is to say about the refines. Not a lot. Pretty underwhelming, honestly, all in all. But this, I had a theory for a long time now that IS has 2 separate teams working on refines, and this basically solidifies that for me. Because like if you hadn't noticed, every other month, like last month's refines were really good. This month's refines were kind of mid, almost kind of borderline bad. I guarantee you next month's refines will be really, really good. Because that's kind of how it's been going, right? We'll have good refines, then bad refines, then good refines, then bad refines. I'm convinced there's 2 separate teams working on refines. You can't convince me otherwise now. It's just, that pattern's been going like pretty steadily. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's been pretty steady, like back and forth. So anyways, let me know what you think. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Peace out.